Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé the other way, season 4, episode 7, Drop by the River. So you know what, last night I thought it was a little bit more interesting with what was going on of the show. I think that we're going to see a little bit more of Miss Debbie and Osama. And I'm really surprised at who's possibly going home first, because I really thought it was someone else, but we'll get into that. But outside of that, we'll get to everything we're going to talk about in just a moment. I want to welcome everyone into the show. Thank you for joining me for this 90 Day Fiancé and any other show that you join me with. I appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Join the family. We would appreciate it. And I'm happy to have you here. So again, welcome to everyone. And we'll go from there. Let's see. The show just started. It is 4:30 West Coast time, 7:30 on the East. And I hope everyone is doing well on this Monday, back to work, if you're still working, day. So yes, good evening. Hello, Dolores. Welcome. And hello, Miss Sharon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you both are doing well. Thank you for always joining, both of you. I appreciate you both so much, if I haven't already said, and everybody else that's in the chat, whether you message on live or you don't. I appreciate everyone so very much. And there's going to be some updates coming soon for me. I'll let you all know about that too. Members will know first and then everybody else after the fact. So let me drop the link. For anybody who wants to join live, you can. Again, it is for if you want to be on the panel. It gives an option. When you click the link, you have to have the option of showing the camera. It says camera on or off. So it's up to you if you want to show your face or not. And you can verbalize your comments, or if not, that's fine. You can keep the comments in the chat, or however you want to do it. That's fine with me too. So for those of you who said hello to me in the chat, Dolores and Sharon, did you get a chance to watch the show last night, or are you just waiting on this review? Because the show was something else. I was surprised that we finally got a little bit more with Isabelle and Gabe, which is about time, because you know they've been beating around the bush with him going to meet her parents. So you know, and then a little bit more with Jen and Rishi, and again, a little bit more with Debbie and Osama, and the same drama with Nicole and Mamu. I'm getting tired of seeing Nicole and this. I'm just so mad at him all the time. You know, I just, like, he doesn't understand me. No, Nicole, we don't understand you. We don't understand what you're thinking and why you're there for the second time, not understanding these cultural differences that you seem like that you don't remember they exist, or, you know, like I see you, they don't see me kind of thing, like a peekaboo. Like, Nicole, you're too old for this. And Nicole, if I didn't mention it last week, I found out she's 38 years old and Mahmoud is 30. So old enough to know better, right? She's almost in the same age. Well, once you pass 30, that's on the road to 40, right? So what's the excuse of being like, oh, I didn't know? You knew the first time, you know now. So that's just me. And I also saw, I'm not sure if you all follow Instagram or anything like that. I've also saw Nicole, somebody was, okay, there's Twitter and there's Instagram, but someone had put on Instagram something about Nicole and her wearing her hijab. And apparently in Egypt it's pronounced hijab or like that, not hijab normally, or something like that. And she commented on somebody's post, and I was gonna put it on here for y'all to see. And at the last minute, I forgot, but next time I'll have it up there. So you watch, Sharon? Good. Okay. So this episode, I don't know. What's the word a lot of the younger people use today? Like, just throw them away. Like, for example, Nicole and Mahmoud, throw it away. That relationship to me is like, in the dust for me. She's trying to make all these excuses, but what's me coming up for the upcoming episodes like next week? Oh my gosh. I hit the floor when I saw her going swimming in the things she had to wear. And she wasn't okay with it at all. It didn't seem like so. All right. Well, I'll just get started. It's been 5 minutes in, so I won't keep everybody too long. Okay. So let's start with Jen and Rishi. So now last week, when I thought Jen ran into some issues when Rishi was talking to her about, yes, Jazz, the swimsuit. I dropped the link if you want to join, Jazz. When Jen was talking about, or Rishi, when she was saying how he was trying to show her what it meant to be an Indian woman and like all the responsibilities of the household and things like that. I think that he gave her just a general overview. Well, his sister-in-law or whoever she was with last week, a general overview of what it would be like getting up at a certain time to make the tea, making meals, serving the men first, this and that. But I don't think he really went into too much detail about like what is really going to be living in a joint household, like we're going to live here and just those different types of traditions. And because based off their conversation on last night's episode, when she was saying, I really love you and things like that, but I have to do things for me. Yeah, you have to do things for yourself. Again, I'm just like not understanding why she don't get the cultural differences here. And you know what? For the lawyers last night looking at her like she was real crazy. Matter of fact, that's what they said, right? Like crazy American. Those looks that they gave, priceless. Priceless. Let me read some comments. Dolores, she said, Nicole always seems upset. She's aware of the culture. I know. Isn't she hard to watch? You know what? I'm going to really try to stop saying that for as long as she's on the show. But she is hard to watch. But it's hard for me to say at the same time. So it's a double-edged sword for me watching Nicole. And then Sharon, you say, he does seem like he's shy. His uncle had to tell him it was his responsibility teacher. Yeah. Oh, Mamu. Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. But Mahmoud also he's giving me the nice way metrosexual vibes to Mahmoud. So I'm not really sure if this is really the relationship that he wants. Now, backstage, thumbs me up when you're ready to come out. I could keep going over the interview. Okay, we have someone backstage. Let's welcome her in. It's Miss Jazz from the Jasmine Show. Woo!
Hi. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. I was starting with Jen and Rishi first.
Lord.
What do you think about Miss Jen before we even get to the lawyer? What do you think about her talking about she feels that she's got to do for her and just, I don't know. Do you think she feels like she's been lied to some kind of way, Because she doesn't come across domestic at all. But she's just giving me like, oh, well, I saw how, they have to do things traditional here. But newsflash, Jen, it's not just traditional in Morocco. It depends on where you live.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, right?
Yeah.
So
she seems like she's traveled, but she has no clue what's happening in the world.
Right.
That's what I'm getting from her. Because I'm like, she has been there so much that her visa is running out, like as far as the times. But has she paid attention to anything, or she was just having fun?
You know what? I don't know what she has paid attention to, honestly, because I think she just want to get over there to Rishi because I think she thinks like this is her man.
Yeah.
And, the C-19s happen and, we've been apart too long. So let me just get over there just to be with him. We're going to get married and all this other stuff. But she had a rude awakening before she even got there with what her friends found online with the different pictures and things like that.
Lord, I completely forgot about the friends until the end of this episode. Because I forgot the friend had messaged and was like, oh, well, he replied, but he didn't really say anything.
Right.
But why are you replying to random women? Don't reply.
That's the point, right? They were saying, They even told her that they were going to set him up for a catfish. And she's like, oh, well, it's okay. He didn't really mean anything by that. Okay, but if you, reply like you said, that's already an issue, period.
He need to be Stevie Wonder. He don't even see it, okay? Come on.
Right. So I think she's fooling herself about what's happening.
I think these Jens need to stop going to India. That's what I think. Because every time it's a Jen in India, it's a problem.
There you go.
And ain't nobody going to be fighting with your actual wife's family and all this stuff like the other Jen was. That's too much.
Yeah, it is too much. It is. So, I mean, Rishi, he comes across like he wants to be understanding. And I think he likes Jen enough, but not enough to go like a Submit. I don't think he's like went rogue as Submit. You know what I'm saying? He's not giving me that. He's like, he would like lean to what his family wants versus Submit. I think Submit was just ready to get out from his family, the marriage and everything else. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of disagree, but I don't know because I feel like Submit was like, is still trying to force her, like Jenny, to be like cool with his family for so long. Like it was years of us watching them before it actually worked, before they got married. He had gotten married while they were together and like that whole situation. So I feel like Jen is a little bit before that. Like his family is trying to arrange him, but not he's not arranged. So I give her that. But I feel like Submit was trying to force the mom and Jenny relationship. It's just not gonna work.
Right. Okay. I can see.
As Rishi, I feel like he at least was smart enough to be like, okay, I got you another apartment. Like, I feel like he's trying to keep it separate and like lightly introduce her. But Submit was being deceitful. That's why his family don't like Jenny, is what it was.
Yeah, you're right. I see your point on that. So Sharon says, you just reminded me, thank you, Sharon, that there's 2 master's degrees and she's not that smart.
She got book smarts. That's it.
That's it. Perfect analogy right there. So, I mean, okay, I think we touched on her visa last week. We were trying to, at the end of the show last week, we were trying to say, like, how is it that she don't know what's up with her visa? So now we know. Like, I was sitting there watching the show, and I was like, no, she only got a 30-day visa and has to travel somewhere else and come back. I have never.
How are you telling everybody that you're moving to India to be with your fiance, and then you only had 30 days on your visa? So you was going to force him to marry you in 30 days? Was that the plan? Like, I don't understand.
I don't think that was the plan because she literally looked surprised and didn't know.
She always looks surprised.
Well, it's true. She always looks surprised. But she literally, to me, it came across like she didn't know because she's like, oh, I didn't read it. Because she was told the lawyer, so what is it that I can do? And I was at the TV. I was like, girl, nothing.
Right.
You know what
the
I'm saying?
lawyer was done listening to her as soon as she said, I have a fiance, his family don't know, and we don't have a wedding date. At that point, he was like, I don't know why you here.
Yeah, they kind of gave like a side eye to that. Let me see. I think I pulled up a picture from Twitter because I was like, perfect. There it is. The Indian lawyer just summed up. I feel his crazy American behavior. He pulled no punches. He was like, no.
He was over it. He was like, you're wasting my time. I hope you pay my fee, though. So.
Right. So, I mean, just sitting there and just for her, I wonder what she really thought when she was like 30 days. She's like, so can I go to another country and come back?
Right.
I mean, 30 days is 30 days.
I feel like that's what she was just going to be like, oh, let me go to Pakistan real quick and come back or something. But that doesn't make sense to me. She should not have came over there. He should have told his parents what was up. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm giving Rishi a little bit more credit. Now, he do seem like he's being sneaky as far as texting other women. But as far as Submit was not upfront for a long time. That's right. It looked like next episode, Rishi is going to be like, look, this my boo. This was happening. At least he's not being a punk. He just going to say it straight up.
I give you that with Rishi, yeah, but there's still a little bit in there. And then Jen is crying like, maybe this is God's way of telling me. No, it's that you just don't need to be here anyway. How about that?
You need to go read a book. She don't know how to read. That's the problem here.
What are her master's degrees in? You know what I'm saying? Did anyone catch what her degrees are in since you mentioned that?
I don't think she ever did.
Yeah, well, 2. I mean, you should have a doctorate by now. If you're going to have 2, you could be a doctorate in something, right?
That's true.
But anyway, so that was her. So, I mean, I guess it looks like Jen may be the first one home.
No, I still think Debbie going home first.
You think so?
Debbie going to cuss him out next episode.
Oh, let's just jump into Debbie because she's next on my list. Debbie, this is what I says. Debbie for right now is in La La Land in the car. But when he dropped on her, what she had to do as a half Moroccan woman, you got to wash my clothes. Again, traditional values, right? When she's like, Farmer Debbie, I laughed so hard. I was like, no. I didn't see it. I was like, Farmer Debbie, where, right? And so just the side eye that she gave when she learned that, let's just jump from the car ride. No, stay in the car, excuse me. When she was talking about that wine, I cook for you and sometimes maybe we can have takeout. You saw that? Maybe we'll have takeout and some wine.
Yeah.
Some wine. I was like, okay, Debbie, you read between the lines. Wine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. All right.
You want to be wined and dined, right? And so what Osama was like, no, we don't do wine in the house because that brings off, negative energy. We don't do wine.
Listen, I can't live there. I cannot live there. I'm leaving immediately.
I've heard a few people say that. Dolores, you say, I think she's aware of the 30-day visa, however, no definite plan. I'm not sure. She's aware of it now, but I don't think she was aware of it before she went over.
I think she knew how long she had, but I think she thought that as long as she knew she had to be there for 30 days or she could stay there for 30 days, but then she thought she just had to leave and come back. Because remember when Jenny with Submit was in India and she was like, my visa is expiring. I have to leave and come back. Okay. But then they extended it because of COVID, I'm pretty sure.
Right. Okay, but 30 days, maybe I don't know. I'm just saying out loud. Maybe it's an Indian thing because I've just never heard that with any other person that's gone over that had only 30 days, because there would be no show. Then it wouldn't be 90 Day Fiance. It would be like 30 days. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like everybody knew this except for Jen, clearly. The producers knew it. Everybody knew it.
That's definitely a storyline. But back to Debbie and Osama. So you wouldn't stay with the wine? Chat, would you stay with wine if there was no wine in the house?
You're probably not. If I can't drink, he said you can't drink in your house.
Right.
That's a problem. So where can I drink at? Nowhere then? If you can't drink in your house, where can you drink?
Well, you could drink maybe outside the house. Anywhere that's not going to bring in that bad mojo in the house. Because he said there's angels in the house. But when you bring wine and alcohol inside, they leave and something else comes in. So he don't want any other spirit to come in the house other than the angels that's in there.
The only spirit is the wine. That's the spirit.
Hey, I'm just saying that's what he said. So, well, Debbie can have her takeout, but no wine. She can have some water with her takeout. Mm-hmm. Now, when they got to the place they were going to be staying, did you notice he knocked with the door knocker and not the doorbell?
Yeah, that was weird. I think he's a very weird guy.
He comes across dark to me. Dark energy, dark, goth-like dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he also comes across real sneaky, but in your face sneaky, kind of like an eyes wide shut kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I say that because Debbie, from learning that she had to stay in a separate room, again, why don't we know the culture here? When they came back out to talk, and he was like, well, yeah, you could stay here. You stay a month or two, then you go back to America. What? You lied to me, Osama. You lied for 3 years. I'm thinking, first of all,
I'm mad you got the voice down though.
When you met him, he was of 2021. He's still considered a baby.
He's not thinking about getting married to your old self.
Okay.
What?
And so
I feel like this is what I talk about the relationships not being actual relationships. Like, I feel like back in the day, you could be on AOL and like have a friendship with somebody for 3 years online, but that is not an actual relationship.
Right.
And I kind of agreed with what he was saying. Like, he's like, we've been dating online,
right,
on social media. That's not real life. And the fact that she's the one that's not understanding that is crazy. But yes, he should have said it before she came.
That's true. He should have said, now, do I have the picture? It says Osama might be the smartest of them all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the most realistic of them all. I agree. But he should have said it before.
He should have.
But would she have understood it is the point. Because I think Debbie is just so, I'm using her word, enamored with Osama, her Prince Charming, her Strange Beautiful, like he's the one. Okay, I don't even know how she even think he can be the one, but whatever. That she wouldn't have seen, heard, or anything else that he was trying to say to her because she wants this so bad in the late stages of her life.
Yeah, I think this is why you're not supposed to be dating somebody that's younger than your kids. That's what it boils down to, because they're
That's
like,
always
she's
been my
thinking this is how I want to spend the rest of my life, like
theory.
however much more time I have, whether it's 10 years or 20 years or 30 years.
Right.
But he is like way behind. So he's not thinking, like, they're not on the same page.
Right. At all. At all. Not culturally. It only thing they're on the same page with is the what paintings and the poetry and things like that.
Yeah.
That's it. And I would like to know what he's actually written compared to her, because she's just so grandiose with her stuff. She's just out there. You know what I'm saying? Debbie is like blown in the wind kind of thing.
Yeah.
So but I, when she got upset, I understood, but I didn't at the same time. Because I'm like, again, this is a young man. He's a baby. You met him literally at the end of his teen years.
Mm-hmm.
You've been away from because of the virus, and now you're back thinking you're going to get married, but yet you're going to stay at his parents' house when he told you there was going to be no wine.
Is she older than the parents? That's what I'm thinking. Because let my son bring home some lady that's older than me. She can't stay here. She can't stay here. She got to go. Go back to America. It's not gonna work.
See, that's always been my theory. Okay, so my oldest. Okay, matter of fact, both their birthdays are coming up. CJ is my son, and Cassandra, the millennial, in the next 2 weeks. The birthdays are a day apart. Weren't planned. She's gonna be 27. He's gonna be 31. There's be no way that I would be dating someone that's under the age of me, personally.
Yeah.
27, 31. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one in my kids' peer group. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So,
yeah.
And I'm just barely over 50 because I had my kids on the younger side. So Debbie, if my oldest is 31 and Debbie is 67, Debbie is in my parents' peer group. There's nothing wrong with being in, different peer groups because we all different ages. But I just don't understand why she thinks like this is okay. That's all I got to say. And same thing for a man. Like, this is not. No, this don't look right. And especially being in another country, this don't look right. But she's trying to justify it. But she's just so free-spirited. I think that's what is catching her up. And her son was trying to tell her about it, but she don't want to listen. Sharon, you say Debbie just wants to be loved, a fool for love. That's it.
She the one that's been married several times, like extended, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
She said she was single for like 10 years. So she probably it's like, okay, I'm ready to spend my life with somebody, and I guess Osama slid in her DMs. I don't know. But
I think maybe it was the other way around. Maybe she slid in his DMs.
I'm not seeing it. As soon as you said, oh yeah, I'm 21, by the way, I'm out.
And she was still 60. She's 67,
yes.
60. So she's just still 60. But the point is, Debbie has been there before. Debbie was there 3 years before the COVID, the C-19, and came back because of it. So she's been there before. So she already knew what was going on. So Osama was already living at home, and this was already the relationship. The only difference is a little time has gone on, but he's still young. He's not going to ever catch up with you in maturity or age, period. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so he's just simply too young for her.
It's not a match. I will say, I'm trying to figure out who team I'm on more.
Go ahead.
I think I am kind of team Debbie, just because he wasn't honest. And I think that's the other issue with these people be letting you move to a whole nother country. Same thing going the opposite way. Like when they come to the US, they don't be telling them they full situation. Right. I'm talking about Muhammad and Danielle.
Oh, you would.
She had no money. He had a good job where he was, and you had him move into a situation where you can't pay your bills. Like, this is a conversation that needs to be had before you do that. So, people need to be more transparent about what the culture is, what the expectations are. And I'm like, this is why I say these are not real relationships, because those are things you discuss when you're actually in a relationship.
I agree. You went old school with Danielle and Muhammad. That's what set this series off in the first place. Because I'm
Team Muhammad. I've been Team Muhammad the whole time, because as soon as he was like, hold on, so you have no money? So this, and he was working at a bank or something in Tunisia. I'm like, You set this man up to fail, and now you just want him to deal with whatever. Like, come on.
Right. Yeah, that was a whole hot mess. So, yep. All right, so let's move past that. Let's move to your favorite, Nicole and Mamu. So where do we pick up with them? Like every episode, it leads off with an argument and a culture clash. She's mad. You know what? I'm just gonna start we'll have to get water bottles, wine, whatever. Every time he says, honey, my love.
Yes, my love.
Take a sip.
We're gonna be good and drunk by the time we get to the end of the episode.
One of the things I typed out for Nicole, she's questioning herself about converting to Islam. She says, I feel really, really uncomfortable because I'm having a bit of a crisis of faith. Mamu never forced me to convert to Islam. That was my choice. But sometimes I get confused because I don't know if he's actually Islam. Excuse me. I don't know if it's actually Islam that I'm having a crisis with, or it's Mamu's rules. It's the same thing. I don't understand what the difference, the variation would be. Can someone explain that to me? Do you see a variation between his rules and Islam?
I do to a degree, just because there's some people that are very strict on every single thing. Like I know people that are Muslim, but they don't like necessarily, they don't wear the hijab, and like I feel like everything is a spectrum, right? Like you get people that are like devout Christians that go to Bible study, that go to church every week, that are all involved in church. You get people that show up for Easter, but you can still believe in that without necessarily being super strict. And I think that's the issue here. But again, I don't have no empathy for her because she's goofy. She should have had this crisis before she converted, and now you too late. You stuck in the sauce at this point. What you gonna do?
Yep. Sharon says, I can't with Nicole. She has RBF as well. She doesn't know who she is. Yeah, she has RBF.
Jen does agree with that. I don't think she has a personality. I don't think she knows who she is at all. Like, if you like, what do you know about Nicole? I literally know nothing about her.
She's a fashion designer.
That's it. That's the only thing I know about her. And I know that her little haircut makes me mad every time I see it.
That's all I know. Is okay, from her confessionals to what we see with Mahmoud. In confessionals, you can tell that's her hair. You think that's a wig that she's wearing in Egypt, or you just think it's the way that she has the product in it?
I think she needs some leave-in conditioner because it's dry. That's what I think. It's dry, and that's why it looks like it looks. It looks. That's why it looks like that.
I didn't ask you what's it dry, but okay.
No, her hair is driving me nuts. She need to flat iron it or something. It just be looking. It looks frazzled. She looks frazzled, is what it is.
She does look frazzled.
She always looks like that, and I'm just like, girl, like you worried about your clothes. You can she can still be like, put on her makeup and like smell good and all of those things and wear the clothes. Like you can do both. It doesn't have to be, oh well, this is tearing this up. But I haven't seen her wear nothing fly yet. So what is she talking about?
Well, she's trying because the designs that she took over to the uncle's house, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. But did you peep out Mahmoud's mom sitting on the sofa? She's kind of like peeking in the room while Nicole was like trying to find something to do to, for her hands and stuff like that. She's like picking at little stuff and like trying to iron because, she's mad and, she can't really go anywhere outside the room because she don't know the language like that. And then the mom just like sitting there like, what you doing, girl, right? And then when Mahmoud comes in, I'm sorry, honey, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then the mom was like, come get this phone. Your uncle's trying to call and talk to you. Yeah. I thought that was funny. But Nicole, she just, when you're there, you could be upset and everything like that, unless you, to me, are going home for real.
Stop playing this game.
Right. Yeah. Stop playing the game. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be upset. You was upset the first time when you were there. You're upset now. People want to see you. You have to go with the rules and however the house flows. You know what I'm saying? Why
she don't go with the sister-in-law? That's what I don't understand. Remember Fatima?
Yeah.
I was like, because she was super nice. Like, thank you, Dolores. Thank you. It's horrible. She was super nice. Like, she clearly is she's from a similar situation. She's from China, I believe.
Yes.
And she literally converted. She has a family. Like, so like, I feel like I'm sure it wasn't an easy transition for her, but I feel like that's a resource and somebody to connect with. And she's
Right.
always like, I'm here by myself. And I'm like, I don't see you talking to anybody besides him. That's why he got a whole family.
Right. Getting
I don't
upset.
think she's trying.
Yeah. And so you're right about that. I didn't think about that. Where's the sister-in-law to take her out to the, vegetable stands or wherever the
They
sister-in-law?
live in the same, I thought they live in the same building.
Well, yeah, she should live upstairs, huh?
Right.
Because it's yeah, girl. I don't know. Okay, Jazz, come through with the word today. So they finally get to the uncle's house, right? The uncles and everybody sitting there. You saw the aunt sitting next to the uncle had the extreme outfit on. I don't even know.
I was trying not to laugh, but I was like, I can't even see her eyes. It was
right. I don't know what you
Is that
call it. So I don't know. I don't know what you call it. But the grandma didn't have. Maybe the older you are, the less face coverings you need to have on for whatever reasons. I don't know. But I was thinking like, okay, Nicole, look at your surroundings here. What you got on?
Yeah.
Don't be complaining because you could be looking like that.
Exactly.
Right?
You could be seeing your eyelashes. That's it.
Right. Hi, Ashley. How are you? And so the uncles was like, why is she in here without no scarf on? And I'm like, is it really that big of a deal, Nicole? You already have on the long sleeves. You already have on the long pants. You just can't put on like a cute little sheer scarf to go to someone else's house. Okay, so in Mahmoud's mother's house, they kind of know that you're pushing back, but you're going out now. You know what I'm saying? So now for me, the respect issue is not carrying across to the other side of the family, the culture, because this to me could again come back as backlash. And that's where I also think that Nicole is wrong in this situation too.
It's dangerous sometimes. I don't know what their situation is, but if that's the circle that they're in, that they are that strict on dress code and how you should act and all of that stuff, then like it's just not like you should have known this. This is why I be saying people just be getting married just because, oh, he's cute. Oh, he said he loves me. Let's get married.
Yeah.
And now you like, please meet somebody's family. Please just don't marry somebody you don't know how they handle money. Like you don't know their family relationships. You don't know how they handle conflict.
Right. Don't marry someone on the just because. That's what I say to my kids. On the just because. You can't do that. So let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, I was ahead of myself. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get
Trey.
We're gonna get there. But I'm just like, I just really don't like how Nicole is just again the disrespect of the culture, someone else's house, trying to sit in a male-dominated bar, and just all the different little things that she's been doing. I don't like that about her. It's not wearing well. It's not resonating well with me. I don't know what she's trying to present on the show, and if she's trying to show that, oh, we're in a solid union, because it's not giving that at all. It's giving conflict, and like, if anyone needs to come home now, it's you.
It's her.
But
for sure.
Moving into the drawing. So what was that she was trying to give to the uncles to show like a different type of dress that the Muslim ladies could wear?
She's basically trying to show like, I guess, something that's more stylish, but still following the dress code. I think that's what, so I was like, that's actually really smart, because if Mahmoud is trying to like make her feel like she's welcomed and like create a life in Egypt, like if she's into fashion design, that's a business. First of all, you're bringing in money. And I feel like he's showing that he's committed in a different way, and it's just going over her head. Like she's missing it. But I don't think that she really wants this life. And that's what it boils down to. Instead of saying, I don't want this life, let's get a divorce, she's just like, whatever. And I thought it was interesting that Mahmoud said that his parents got divorced when he was young. So I'm like, I never hear about divorce in Egypt and like these Middle Eastern countries, but it's clearly happening.
Right. I thought that was interesting too, Jazz, because I didn't think that, and I could be wrong, I'm not as educated on it, maybe I should look it up, but I didn't think when you're in a certain religion that's some that are involved maybe more extreme, how we would view as extreme, that was okay. So, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to say? So,
but I think that, I feel like over there, if the man say he wanted a divorce, he can get a divorce. I feel
Yes.
like the woman probably can't be like, oh, I want a divorce. That ain't happening until
Right.
the man decides.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. So, and then, all right, so let's move on, and we'll talk about the end of the show after that too. And so let's move on to Gabe and Isabelle. So I'm glad that we are finally like moving along with this storyline because it was just a lot of like circling around the wagon about
Mm-hmm.
I'm trans. But I'm sorry, every time I see Gabe and just see how short he is, that it just cracks me
Tiny.
up. He's
Yeah.
little, petite. So this might not be the best thing to do, but I'm trying to picture him as like a petite opposite, like what he used to be. You know what I'm saying? That I'm
Right.
just like, But when he was on the basketball court with Trey, I'm surprised that Trey didn't know. He lived in Colombia for a whole year. And Gabe was saying that, I plan on proposing to Isabelle and all those different little things and meeting her family. And he's like, yeah, well, what's the issue? Well, I'm trans. He was like, what? Whoa, I didn't know. I was really surprised.
Why? I mean, if I saw him, I probably wouldn't think so either. I would be like, you a tiny dude, but only like that would make me think that.
Yeah.
But other than that, like he's like pretty like he works out, so like he has a masculine body to me.
He has a masculine body, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought he was trans either. But I'm just saying, for Trey they've known each other for a year when he was Columbia before.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised he didn't tell Trey.
Well, he said he didn't let him follow him on like they weren't connected on social media on purpose. So I'm like, okay, I can see how that would work.
But he took a big risk of saying it then if that's how he wanted to be, because Trey didn't have to be accepting of the case, because if it wasn't, then I guess it would have been like a comma to the storyline. But he was accepting. Now, one of the things that I thought was funny when Gabe and Isabelle and Trey, and I don't forgot what Isabelle's friend's name, what dude with all the tattoos,
I can't remember his name.
sitting at the spot. Well, apparently there's Gabe's and Trey's spot, and Isabelle's and Gabe's spot too. And then when he was like, "Shh," I'm thinking, "Why you shh?" She don't speak English.
Okay.
You right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, she don't.
Yeah, that's not right. You're not supposed to take your boys to our spot or vice versa. You need to find another spot.
Right. And so Isabelle knows that, and that's what she didn't like. And then she says Trey, likes all the ladies. So I think she thinks that maybe Gabe will fall in line with that too. So, but he doesn't give me the type of being, into the ladies like that. I think he gives me like he's just, one-on-one. Would you say, Dolores? You said Gabe is short and slim. He does look masculine. He does.
I think it's just about like you people don't want first of all, I think Isabelle has some maybe not abandonment issues, like trust issues. Like clearly she's been cheated on in the past. So she doesn't like, if that's a trigger for you, you don't want your man hanging out with somebody because they live in the same building. So she know how many hoochies he be having come through.
Right.
That's why she was looking at him crazy. Muchas mujeres. Like,
okay.
Come on.
Right.
She know what's up.
But I was surprised that she didn't know English like that. I thought maybe she would know just a little bit, but she didn't seem like she knew too much, because she was like, why this? I was like, oh, she don't know any English? I'm like, ooh.
She knows. I feel like both of them have like a beginner level of each other's language. Like I feel like Gabe has like I would say proficient Spanish, like right in the middle, not like an expert by any means, but he can get away with it.
Yeah.
And the same for her English. So I see sometimes they translate when they get to more in-depth conversations, just because they want to make sure they're communicating, because it's an important conversation. I get it. I think I really like them, to be honest.
I do like them together. I like them as well. But when they were sitting at that table, though, I was cracking up about the secretos, the secrets. But the way that Trey was saying them secretos, I don't even know how to say. I'm like, what is he saying? Just say secrets. just say secrets the American way, because it didn't come across the right way. But I just thought it was cool. I don't see Gabe and Trey's relationship being a problem. I just think that Gabe would have to just be honest with Isabelle when he's going to hang out with Trey.
Yeah,
what it is, so that she would feel more comfortable. So
I think it's important for him to have that relationship, especially if they like. It helps you're moving to a whole other country. Like it helps to have somebody that's from back home. Like,
right.
Even if he I don't feel like Trey is gonna like lead him in a negative way. Like he might do his thing. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, you go home to your wife, bye,"
Right.
But you
Yeah,
can have both. You don't have to be like, just because your friends do things doesn't mean that you do those things.
that's true. So now that Gabe, Isabel, and the kids are all packed up, so the little boy or her son still doesn't know, right? Are we still? He's still
Mm-mm.
under the rainbow of not knowing.
He don't know.
So I think that the parents were very welcoming when they came in.
I want to go to the parents' house. Dad was praying and everything. And I like Dad, actually. I
Yep.
actually think he's going to have a good reaction, though. I don't think he's going to have a negative reaction. He wasn't giving me like churchy, judgy. He was giving me like blessed churchy, if that makes
There
sense.
you go. There you go. Yeah, I agree too. Just by what's coming up for next week. But I like that. I like they were welcoming. I like the fact how because it would be the same way here in this house and my
Hmm.
parents' house, 45 minutes away, and my whole family. If you're not married, that's just how
Yeah,
we are.
you can't sleep in the
There's
same
no
room.
staying, in the same room. So Gabe thought that was like a religious thing, but again, I think it's just tradition from your own background. It doesn't have to be a religious type thing. But
Yeah.
mom had that food cooked up. They had conversation. Everybody seemed like they were getting along with the small talk. It seemed like it was very, very natural. I didn't see any like pushback. Nobody seemed like
Hmm.
it was awkward. None of that. And this is the first time that I think that I've seen like anybody meet someone's family that seemed like it was just we've all been here before,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
It was good. It was a good vibe.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So I was hoping we were going to at least hear Gabe ask before the end of the episode, but maybe we'll see it next week. So it looks like it's going to be coming up really soon.
He said he was gonna ask for permission to propose first. So I think that's why I thought he was gonna say something, but then he was like, "Yeah, what kind of qualities are you looking for?" I'm like, "That's the question you guys, sir. You already here. Like what?"
Exactly. Let me pop that Twitter picture back up of Trey. She hit him with the insults and he hadn't even learned Spanish yet. That's his look. He actually looks like somebody from like another show.
He does, and I can't think of. Is
Yeah,
this a guy? He was in Love and Hip Hop Miami. He got locks.
maybe, because he said he was from Miami, so it could be him.
Yeah,
We're probably
I
the
don't
same.
think it's him, but he looks like somebody.
Because I was like, who is Trey? I think I know a Trey, but yeah, I enjoyed Gabe and Isabel. Her daughter is already on board. I don't know if her son is he like 9 or 10, or is he a little younger? Because
Yeah,
he's tall.
he's like, I think he's like 9. So I think they're saying he's too young to understand. Like they don't want to explain all of that right now, I think.
Okay. Well, I mean, he seems like I said, they just seem like a regular old family. You wouldn't know the difference unless someone told you. And I
Right.
really appreciate that about them. So, I mean, really, that was the episode. I'm happy that it was like in and out, but I would like to see more of Debbie and Osama. I want to see the dynamic when they finally get to his parents' farm
Because
and
we've
how.
never seen his mom.
No, we've only seen his dad. So I would like to know if Debbie has to wear, long sleeves too, like Nicole. She's already dressed down like that. Since she thinks she's gonna be Farmer Debbie, see how if she really gonna get her hands dirty. But like you, I don't think she's gonna be there long enough to experience these things because the love of her life told her she's gonna be going home. So I don't know what's up with that.
I
But
can't wait to see her call her son. That's all I'm saying.
so and then the previews of the upcoming episodes, we see Jen, is it not Jen? What's her name? Jamie and Chris getting married.
Oh, I forgot about them.
Yep, they're getting married. So apparently she's going to get married first before she comes back to the States to deal with that motorcycle thing, if that's what it is. But I saw a picture of her today too. I always say these things like last minute because I'm working during the day too and doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And someone had a picture of her and it said, for someone who needs neck surgery, why are you laying on the bed like that? It was like against the wall with no headboard and her head was to the side. Just like damaging
She
herself.
weird, bro. She's really weird. Just, that's just her thing. She's super weird. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. I feel like the preview, it was like Jamie was saying, like, you haven't called me in a month. And
Right.
like, I don't see what her purpose of like marrying this girl and then like going back to the States and then like just ghosting her for the second time.
Yeah.
What the purpose is. Yes, Debbie is going home.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe Chris came over. I'm not saying she doesn't love Jamie, but I think maybe she came over to, she's also in Colombia, right? Mm-hmm. Came over to Colombia to express herself because she says she's not getting that in Alabama, so she's unable to do so. So I think that this was her out to do that and then come home. But the downside is this TV show, their production. You know what I'm saying? So maybe she did it first and then maybe explain later kind of thing. So maybe she's not, her family and her community aren't as open as like a Gabe's family community. I think that's why she did it. Thank you, Dolores, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And so, Jazz, on you about that swimsuit that you mentioned. What do you think about the designs for next week when she's looking there like her
I was crying laughing at that preview because first of all, it was the haircut. Secondly, she was like, I never knew what modest was until I wore a swimsuit. And then it was her like, and then production is trash because they zoomed in on her looking crazy, like
a cat underwater.
I can't wait to see this. I cannot wait to see this entertainment.
But what did she expect though? What did she think that she was gonna be looking like at the pool? If you already have to wear hijab, how she pronounces it, long sleeves. What? How does she think that's going to translate? She's supposed to be able to wear a bikini to the pool. Nicole, Nicole is just, she gives delusion. Nicole can't. Nicole can't be serious. She literally cannot be selling us this story that she's serious about the things that she's expressing and going through. You know, so I don't think she's going to get in the pool. You think so?
I sure hope not. I need her to get on the plane and go home.
Get on the plane and go home. All right. What'd you say, Sharon? She wanted to wear a bikini.
She definitely probably did. She was living in LA. Of course she wanted to wear a bikini.
All right. So do we think that Rishi's family is going to give Jen the out that she needs to get married, or is Jen also coming home?
Jen is coming home for sure. Because his family seemed very aggressive, surprisingly.
There was some type of, I don't know if it was an Indian or Egyptian or Moroccan. It looked like there was some type of ceremony coming up. So who's the ceremony for? There was a ceremony. Yes.
I don't know about that.
There was a ceremony coming up. So it's either Debbie, Jen, or hate to say Nicole. There's something coming up.
She better go home. I'm about a plane ticket for her.
No, let her get back on her own. She should have known better. And then let's see. Next week we're gonna have Nicole. Not Nicole. I keep saying Nicole. We're gonna have Johan and Danielle. So she's apparently back from. She left, came back. She said she's back to stay.
Was that her ex? Who was that guy?
It said that it's her ex, but we won't know for sure. But that's what's said. I wouldn't doubt it because she's had other friends come while she was in Dominican to talk to Johan. So now that Johan knows about the ex and someone having a larger man size, first of all, how's that kind of conversation you have with another dude?
That's what I was saying. I'm like, that's really her ex, because why would your husband say that to another man? Is he saying like, oh, so you had my wife? Like, of course, your wife has a kid. Of course, somebody had your wife before you.
Right.
But I'm just like, what? Like, why would you even say that? I wouldn't say that to another person.
No, because again, their past is before you, right?
It was a measuring contest is what it was.
Well, you know what? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't get their little feelings hurt. But the point is, Danielle, speaking of having inappropriate relationships, I think that's just what this is. I think this is what exactly this is. Another inappropriate relationship by someone, except for Johan, again, knew what was up. But just the difference is he thought he was coming to America, and Danielle didn't make it so. But in the clip that we saw, not just with the man size, she broke a coconut because I didn't know what she broke on the floor. A coconut's supposed to be like, I don't know, welcoming and for your new home or something like that. I was like, Danielle, come on now.
Why is she always coming with something?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Where is she coming up with this stuff?
Oh no! Would you say, Sharon? What did he say? I missed it. Johan was talking to another man at the table, and they were saying Johan was saying to the man that something about he had a larger manhood size,
which is weird to say.
Or she likes a bigger manhood size. So either Johan is saying that she likes it from the person he was talking to, the man, or maybe he was saying he doesn't have enough of what Danielle needs. So however it's going to present next week or a week or two, we're going to find out. But I just, for Johan to say this out loud to the guy is kind of like a little weird to me. Like I don't think that's the right type of conversation to be having. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so really that was it. What else? Did you see anything else interesting for you for next week, Jazz?
No, it was just a swimsuit for me.
You just waiting on the swimsuit?
I'm just waiting on the swimsuit.
Okay. Who else is on the show that we haven't seen pop up with too much information coming up? Yeah. Who else haven't we seen? So I didn't really see too much of just with the upcoming clips with Chris and Jamie. I mean, is she still in the bed? We haven't seen nothing happening with her. Is she still laid out? Because
that's true, because she was laid out.
Yeah. Because last week
I just feel like they don't have a storyline. Like I want to see, because in the preview of the season, it looked like they was fighting. Like remember at some point Chris had ghosted Jamie.
Yeah.
And Jamie had started talking to somebody else. And had cut her off. So I was expecting that to come back up. They would not just say that just because. Like, it's going to come back up at some point. And that's what I'm waiting for.
Right. Because Jamie did say to her friends, yeah, just a little snippet of her, because they were expecting to meet Chris. And they're like, oh, well, she couldn't make it from traveling, this and that. She got a shot, but, it didn't work. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what is happening here? If she don't come back and get that surgery, what is the point? What is the point of traveling, doing anything else? She's not going to make it. If you can't even get out the bed, you can't even get out the car. The injection they gave you wasn't strong enough, which means you already passed the point of no return. You have to hit, hospital grade medication to feel better.
Basically, yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. It just does not make sense. Like, I don't know why they even put her on the show if they're not going to be in the show. Like,
right. Yeah. So really that was it, you guys. That was it. So we'll have to wait till next week. I'm hoping that Gabe, like I said, brings it up to her parents so we can keep on going with that storyline. I want to see Nicole in that swimsuit next week. We'll see what kind of argument that's going to bring up, because it's going to bring up one. I want to see Debbie meet Osama's family. And we'll see what's going to happen with Rishi's family. What they're going to say about her being 48 years old. And, she got to go home. If I don't marry her now, then I may not see her again. What's he going to do? What's he going to do?
Nothing.
So that was it, everybody. That was it. So thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Do we like this time better, the 4:30, 7:30 time better than the 4:15-ish? Does that work for everybody?
It works for me.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. All right, so we're back on Thursday night for Married at First Sight.
Lord.
Married at First Sight with Dr. Pepper's joining the...
Hopefully we can get some progress on the couples this time.
We'll find out. We'll talk about it on Thursday. We will find out. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next time. And if you follow Married at First Sight, see you Thursday, same time, same channel. All right, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thank you. Good night, everyone.